Welcome to the Blue Lounge. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you guys are all having a good evening. Today, it's a different type of show for you lads. It's a more serious kind of show. It's a show that is going to be difficult to make. But it's a show that I felt that I needed to make. Today, I will be with you by myself. I will not have any panelists on my show. A lot of people don't want to talk about this topic. A lot of people don't want to address this topic. It's an emotional topic. It's a tough topic. It's a topic that is hard to talk about because it could be a big change, a big development in our future, in our history. So not many people want to address it. Not many people want to talk about it. So I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it and I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on it. I will try to address the questions in the chat, and after I have given my thoughts and opinions, I will allow you guys in the chat to jump on and give me your thoughts and opinions on this topic if you want to, and if you don't, I'll call it a night. Before we talk about the Chelsea situation, let's talk about why we are in this situation. Why are we in this situation today? Because football is important, but human life, humanity, peace is more important. What's happening in Ukraine today, the devastation, the tragedy, the pain, the suffering that's happening over there today is more important. We should give it more time. We should look at ways of fixing that. We should look at the causes of that, and we should address that. I've had the misfortune of living through a war. I've seen what it does to you, what it does to people, what it does to human beings. It's ugly. It's ugly and it's painful. The world today is trying to fight against that, against what is going on in Ukraine. I'm not going to get into politics. I'm not going to get into whose side is right, whose side is wrong. Humans, innocent human beings, are suffering. They are the ones I'm concerned about. I don't really care about the political aspects behind it. Only to say this. The impact on Chelsea Football Club in regards to what is going on in Ukraine is the tools that are being implemented and employed by the governments that are fighting against this aggression. And one of those tools is sanctions. Sanctions are going to be used to fight against the aggression in Ukraine. Now, sanctions is something... So just give me 1 second. I think I'm lagging. Oh, it should be okay now. The sanctions are being implemented in Ukraine. It's a tier system. There's a tier system that is used in the way that they employ the sanctions against Ukraine, against Russia for their aggression in Ukraine. Cheers, Gabriel. Thank you. Right now, the sanctions that have been imposed stops certain banks, it stops certain companies, it stops certain trade with Russia. It stops certain businessmen who are linked to Russia from doing certain activities. Now, in respect to Chelsea and in respect to where we are today, Roman Abramovich may not live in the United Kingdom anymore. May not live in the United Kingdom anymore. What's new? What is new? He hasn't been allowed to work here. He hasn't been allowed to spend any real time here. He's only allowed to travel for holiday, for personal reasons, and leave. That's what he's been able to do recently. So what's changed? Nothing's changed. In respect to Roman Abramovich, nothing has changed. Now, before I talk about the situation with Roman Abramovich and what is going to happen moving forwards, we need to acknowledge something here. Regardless of what's happened between Roman Abramovich and the president of Russia, regardless of the relationship Roman Abramovich has with Putin, regardless of what Roman Abramovich does away from Chelsea Football Club, Roman Abramovich has been the reason for Chelsea Football Club's success for the past 2 decades. Without Roman Abramovich, without his input, financial, managerial, logistical, Chelsea would not be where they are today. Since Roman Abramovich took over, the success of Chelsea Football Club has been second to none. In the United Kingdom, than Chelsea Football Club under Roman Abramovich. The way he has restructured the hierarchy of the club, the way he has influenced and adapted the academy to produce talent, the impact he has had on the local community, the impact he has had in creating jobs, it's been fantastic. It has been fantastic. And no one can dispute that. No one can dispute the positivity that Roman Abramovich has had on Chelsea Football Club and what he has done for Chelsea Football Club. As a fan, I thank him for what he has done. As a fan, I thank him for what he has done in regards to Chelsea Football Club. Now, Roman Abramovich is also a billionaire, one of the richest men on this planet. And he has other investments, other ventures that he's involved in. And these investments and these ventures got nothing to do with Chelsea Football Club. And the fact that he is going to be sanctioned, the fact that he is potentially going to be sanctioned as these sanction levels, these tiers are expanded, it could mean that he will have to let go of the club. He will not be able to run the club. The club is an independent entity. It has its own revenue streams. It has its own income. And it's self-sufficient. However, we rely on Abramovich for investment, for finances, for leadership, for many other aspects. And he will not be able to provide that if the tiers of sanctions are expanded. At this point in time, nothing has changed. At this point in time, nothing has changed in regards to his ownership, his management, his handling of Chelsea Football Club. Could that change in the future? Possibly. And if it changes, we're going to have issues. We're going to have issues because if he is unable to run the club, if he's unable to financially back the club, then we're going to come to a stage where we're going to have to find alternative methods of finance. And this is where the problem will arise. Now, how likely is it that sanctions will be expanded? The tiers will be expanded. That is all going to depend on what's happening in Ukraine and with Russia. Is NATO, is the West going to be able to keep the situation under control with the current tiers, with the current tools at their disposal, or will they have to expand? And if they have to expand, then that is when we should be worried. Because right now, nothing has changed. The fact that, Roman Abramovich is unable to live in the UK, nothing has changed. So all of this current media speculation, all this hype that is currently being published in all of these papers and all these articles that are currently being circulating around, it is all talking about what if the sanctions are expanded, if the situation deteriorates. They're not talking about what is happening right now in respect to where we are today. Because my concern is, as a Chelsea fan, and again, guys, I'm talking to you, not a political person, I'm talking to you as a football fan, as a Chelsea fan. My concern is, we have a match on Sunday, a cup final on Sunday, and all of this talk, all of this madness is going to affect the morale and the focus and the concentration of the fans and the players on Sunday. And that is my biggest concern right now when it comes to football. And like I said, what's going on in Ukraine, tragic, painful. But me, today, on this channel, I'm addressing the football side of things. And I think the football side of things is going to be impacted in this aspect. We have a cup final and our minds are elsewhere. This video that I'm making today, this stream that I'm making today, I tried to do it 3 times today. I tried to record a video 3 times today. And I couldn't. Because my focus was all over the place. And I thought to myself, you know what? Switch on the camera and do it live. Talk to the man them live. And that's what I'm doing. And that's why I did the stream. And I know a lot of that I asked to come on the stream, we're not prepared to do that. Because they're not prepared to address this situation. And that's fine. That's up to them. What I will do now is I will put the link in the chat. I know there's a couple of people in the chat that did want to come on. Chris being one of them. Gabriel being one of them. They said, we'll come on. I said, no. Sit tight. Sit tight. I'll put the link in the chat and I'll get people to jump on and give me their thoughts and opinions. And listen, whatever you guys want to say in regards to this situation, I'm all ears. No one's right, no one's wrong. Just if you do come on, focus it on the club and focus it on Chelsea, the team, because this is a rabbit hole. This topic is a rabbit hole, and I know a lot of people don't want to go down this rabbit hole. So let me post the link in the chat. Let me post the link in the chat. I'll be here for a little bit and I'll listen to you guys. I really just wanted to get this off my chest and say it to you guys. I wanted to get you guys to see that nothing really has changed apart from the media speculating about something that potentially could happen. Roman Abramovich could sell the club. Could be made to sell the club. Yeah, it could. It could. But it hasn't happened yet. Guys, the link is in the chat. Anybody wants to come on, you're welcome to do so. Let me address some of the people in the chat. Hold on 1 second. Let me address some of the people in the chat. I can't pronounce his name. Capas. Listen, mate. Thank you for being here. Fabino. Thank you for being here. Me. I don't know what that means. Jordan. According to Bloomberg, in Russia, Roman is planning to sell Chelsea. I've seen them reports. I've seen a lot of reports. He could be, and I would have put it past it, because maybe right now he could sell them and he could possibly get paid. If sanctions increase, maybe he wouldn't be able to, because it might be seized. Again, like I said, politics, there's a lot of potential outcomes here. Horizon, a foreman sells, we won't be competitive anymore. We are another milking cow for an American investor. Let's hope not. That would be a disaster. And we've seen it happen to a few clubs in the Premier League. Let's hope it doesn't happen to us. John Arnold, media, I think you say media likes to stir up shit. They do, especially when it comes to Chelsea Football Club. I see a comment here from Chris. I'm not going to click on it because I'll let him chat to us in a second. Ilias, pray for Ukraine. Yes. Everyone should be praying for Ukraine right now. And the human life that is about to be displaced, kicked out of their homes. The families that will be losing loved ones. Pray for them. Courtney, up the Chelsea. Big up to you, Courtney. Ilias, no panelists today. Yeah, no panelists. It is what it is. It is what it is. Leonard, big up to you. MCIG, pray for peace, definitely. Sam, a foreman does go. I hope that he can pay the government money and apologize to all for the people in Ukraine and keep the club. Listen, I don't think Roman Abramovich is involved directly in what's happening in Ukraine. Again, I don't know everything that's going on, but I know the issue with Roman Abramovich is the fact that he is close to Putin. And the fact that he is close to Putin, he is seen as a backer of him, and thus he is being implicated in these sanctions. I don't know if he's doing anything in Ukraine. I don't think he is involved in Ukraine per se. So, Machiavelli, big up to Machiavelli. Gabriel, Chris, big up to you, my brothers. How you guys doing?
Hope everyone is doing okay in this kind of difficult time. You know, it's a very sad time, and it's just mad. Really, it's just mad. You wouldn't even think there's a cup final on Sunday, really, would you? With all this going on. Look, I just want to, first of all, before I talk about Roman, I just want to say thoughts to everyone in Ukraine that's affected, and also just want to say the Russian people that are also affected by this, because they had no say in really what happened. So thoughts to everyone involved and affected. In terms of Roman, right, I just want to get something straight here. Roman Abramovich is an easy target, right? Because he's bought Chelsea. People see Chelsea as this club that's rich, and they buy everything to buy success, and they think, oh, he's involved with such and such, so we'll point the finger at him. People are acting as if Roman Abramovich has ordered Russia to invade Ukraine. That's not the case. Yes, he has whatever connections, but he's not responsible. That's what I'm saying. I think people are getting a bit. They're letting their hatred, I think, for Chelsea and him blind them. People are blaming Roman Abramovich. Roman Abramovich has nothing to do with this. That's my opinion. To answer the question there, when someone said that he should give his money to the Ukrainian people, why? He's not done anything wrong. So, look, but Roman Abramovich has done nothing wrong in my opinion. In terms of selling the club, I don't think he will. That's my personal opinion. If he decides, you know what, I can't be arsed. I've got all the money in the world. I don't need this hassle. I've had all the success with Chelsea. He loves the club. He does love the club. I'll just sell. Then, okay, mate. Then that's his decision. But he's not going to be made to sell. Roman knows every trick in the book. He'll know what to do. He has all the lawyers, etc. So, if he does decide to sell, which I don't think he will, then I hope and I pray that it's not to American investors, because we've seen what happened to Arsenal. We've seen what's happened to Man United. People can say, what about Liverpool, mate? Look, how long was it before Klopp came in? That's Klopp that made them successful, not their owners, not FSG. So, honestly, this Roman situation, mate, he's not going to sell the club. And I don't blame Roman Abramovich one bit. What he does in his personal life, as you say, Mo, he's the owner of Chelsea. That's all I'm worried about. I'm not worried about if he's got other investments in whatever, Russia, whatever. So, it's just a lot of hatred for Roman. It's just a lot of blind hate for no reason. Honestly, that's what I think. You need to look at the football aspects. So, yeah. Cheers,
Chris. I want to address a comment here from Fazo, and he says, Roman Abramovich's daughter insulted Putin. You can see Roman's daughter's tweet about Putin. I've seen it. I have seen it. Correct. It says the war is with Russia, and she's or Russia invades Ukraine or something, and she's crossed out the word Russia and put the word Putin, because this, like you said, Chris, this isn't Russia. This is Putin.
100%.
I have seen the protests in Moscow against this this action. I have seen it. Ukraine. There is a lot of ties between the Russians and the Ukrainians, a lot of family ties. This is logistics. This is politics. This is money. This is oil. This is not about people. This is about wealth, the various types of wealth. And Kate Anderson says, I pray for Ukraine. And hopefully things will cool down a little bit there. Kate, I hope so. Look, Roman Abramovich is a businessman. He has dealings all over the place. I for one, I'm not happy with a lot of the things that he does away from Chelsea Football Club. I, for one, I'm not happy with a lot of the things that he does away from Chelsea Football Club. But that part of what he does, that I will discuss on different platforms. I will discuss that when we're discussing that. Today, we've got to address one thing and one thing only as Chelsea fans, and that is our club and how this impacts our club. Now, the roots of this problem is in the aggression that has been taken against the Ukraine. So you can't distance that from where we are today. But that being said, for us, our concern is Chelsea Football Club. Roman Abramovich is not a saint, but Roman Abramovich has done wonders for Chelsea Football Club. He has done great things for the club, for the people who are associated with the club, and for that we got to acknowledge. And for that, I, like many, would love to see this situation resolved in a way where we don't end up being bought by people who have no concern for football. All they care about is the bottom line, is the profit margin. Because we've seen that with other clubs, and we've seen the way that the other clubs have been impacted by owners of that nature. Owners who will change the name of the stadium to fit the name of one of their franchises. Sports Direct, as an example. Things of that nature. I don't want to see that happening to Chelsea Football Club. But at the same time, I'm saying to everyone, don't jump the gun. Because nothing has happened yet. And it may not happen. And if it does happen, there will be ways to address it, and we will address it. I'm going to go to Gabriel, but before I go to Gabriel, let me just welcome Boogeyman to the stream. Boogeyman, how are you? Welcome to the stream. You good?
Yo, thanks for having me. I'm not good, to be honest. It's just weird.
I know.
The entire situation is weird, man.
I know. And I totally understand. Have decided to stay away from the stream. I totally understand that. But like I said, this is something on all Chelsea fans' minds right now. And that's why I wanted to address it. Boogeyman, I'll come back to you. Let me hear from Gabriel, and I'll come back to Boogeyman. Gabriel, welcome to the stream, my man. Tell me your thoughts on this.
Yeah, evening, guys. Yeah. Obviously, Gabriel. It's a very sensitive subject outside of politics and everything. And like you said at the beginning, thoughts and prayers to the average Ukrainian person, and also our brother Hawkes, I think he's a medical student there, isn't he?
He is, yeah. So, I spoke to Hawkes yesterday. He said he is currently in an underground shelter in one of the subways. There was a missile attack, and he was taking cover in the subway. So my praise and my thoughts are with you, Hawkes. Hopefully, this evil will pass over you, and you will come out the other side healthy and strong.
Yeah, likewise. I mean, initially, I'll be honest, in terms, again, I know it sounds a bit superficial focusing back on Chelsea, but I thought Abramovic, with all his connections and wealth, presumably he must have created a way that would protect Chelsea. But now the fact that he has been named openly in Parliament on a number of occasions, I fear that he's going to be used as a sort of scapegoat for, political reasons to make a point. So that's what I'm quite fearful of. Boris mentioned him a couple of nights ago, and then they tried to backtrack from that. And then I think Chris Bryant, one of the MPs, Labour MP for one of the Welsh constituencies, has been really doubling down on trying to out Abramovich, so to speak. So yeah, it's quite sad really that Chelsea have been sort of sucked into a political sort of vacuum, and yeah, so I don't know what you guys think about that.
Yeah, no, listen, I saw the Chris Bryant and what he said. I saw how Boris Johnson also just wriggled out of Parliament, to avoid being questioned and whatnot. Why is it being made all about this dude? Why is it all being made about this dude? I mean, how many Russian businessmen investing in the UK? How many Russian businessmen, big Russian businessmen, are playing big parts in the UK? Now, yes, Roman is close to Putin. There's pictures of them together. They know each other from way back. But because they know each other from way back, because there's pictures of them together, does that mean that the others are not close to Putin, or is it just because he is the most high-profiled of all of them, because he is associated with a massive football club and his name is known, that you target that name? I have no issue if you guys
I think you're right. I think it's going to be a propaganda type of thing.
It is.
Can I just add though?
One second. I want to say my bit. Bring in Boogeyman, and then we'll open the discussion. I don't have a problem with the West deciding to take out certain action, and because they know what is required to deal with the situation. I am not a military expert. I am not a political expert. I cannot tell you what is right and what is wrong. But what I can do and what I can say is this: a member of parliament targeting one individual is wrong. A member of parliament targeting Roman Abramovich as an individual is wrong. You want to say Russian businessmen, Russian oligarchs, you want to talk with that terminology, I have no issue. But for you to say Roman Abramovich, you're targeting one man, you're targeting one entity, and they're talking about his house. One was £120 million house, and let's seize his house. That is what I have an issue with. Let's find a way to resolve the issue in Ukraine. No problem. And Roman Abramovich, if he is involved in any direct action in that situation, deal with it. But don't target him because he owns Chelsea Football Club. I'm just saying. Boogeyman, welcome. Let me hear your thoughts.
Listen, obviously I'm a Chelsea fan. And I think what's happening in Ukraine is really painful to watch. We all have kids, family, and we always do our best to protect them, but not against missile strikes and war between two countries. There's nothing you can do at this time, and you can only take your frustrations onto a country at this time. And my frustration is against Russia and the projected power around the world. They're trying to make themselves look certain way and all those things. And I think Chelsea in some way contributed to that also, because Chelsea is one of the best run club for the last 20 years. And we say that, and every time we use Chelsea, there's a Russian that use with that name. So it's Chelsea is using to project certain aspect of that country, which is Russia. And at this point, for me, it is a fair game. There's a people innocent in Ukraine that are suffering because of a government. I know it's not their people, but guess what? That's what it is. For me, it's as painful it is for me as a Chelsea fan to say it. I think whatever they seize, they have to seize it from Roman and other Russian oligarch, whatever, and to help with the effort to help Ukraine. That's my position. And I'm pretty sure it's never going to be one of the popular one. But the pain that I've been seeing on the TV since some time, I just think that should be more important than my hobbies and the love I have for this club. Seizing Chelsea from Roman or seizing his house, I don't know if it will change anything, but at least that projections of that power projection of Russian and all those things, we need to just, I mean, for me, it is a fair game to go after anything Russian related. For me, at this time, we need to just destroy them completely. I mean, sorry for saying stuff like that but I feel really emotional what's happening right now, and I don't like it. Roman is innocent. He looked like a shy guy, always mind his own business, doesn't want, I mean, but again, Russian, the reason why this pain are being imposed on innocent population. So some way or the other, something needs to be done. If it means they have to take the money from Russians and whether it is their key, their possession, their house, they have to pay for it one way or the other. That's my position. We cannot just dance around this and just saying, okay, they're not part of it. Then we have to go find this fund somewhere to help Ukraine. No, they are all part of it for me anyways. He's rich, he's a multi-millionaire. The money has to come from somewhere and to help Ukrainian. And I think he is in the...
Boogeyman, sorry to interrupt you, Boogeyman. I'm all for whatever action is deemed necessary to stop the aggression in Ukraine. I'm all for that, and I know that right now, NATO, the West, is looking at taking passive action rather than aggressive action or assertive action where they are engaging directly. So this is why sanctions are being employed. And fine, we've seen sanctions have an impact, but let's be honest, sanctions are very limited in what they can do. Now, right now, they are using a tier system for the sanctions, where this is what we're doing now, and we're going to expand it to this if this doesn't happen, to this if this doesn't happen. So they have different levels. And Roman Abramovich right now, the way that they are dealing with him is as he is part of the Russian establishment, as if he is part of that entity that is invading Ukraine. Now, if there is evidence and there is a direct link between him and what is going on, then he's fair game. But if it's him being targeted because there's a few pictures of him shaking hands with Putin, if he's friends with Putin, if he has, you got to have the same standard across the board, because I have seen a lot of entities that are Russian and that are not Russian who are dealing with Russia.
Yeah,
So are you going to have that across the board? No.
My position is all of them, and the other, I'm not saying. I'm not. The thing is simple. For me, I'm not saying just Roman Abramovich. I'm saying pretty much all of them. You need to just how do you cripple Russian economy if you don't take everything they possess outside of Russia? You have to take it away from them, whether by force or anything. I mean, that's my position. I'm just trying to take myself away or being Chelsea fan and just express my position at this point. Whether Chelsea is destroyed or completely end up in the second division, I know it will hurt me. But listen, this is a humanitarian crisis. And me, at this point, listen, I'm talking with my heart at this point. I'm not too much with my head, but I just think that's, for me, now, anything related to Russia, outside Russian, should be seized for me anyway. That's my position. And I'm pretty sure I make myself enough clear, so I won't talk too much about it. I'll just listen now.
All right. Cheers, Boogeyman.
Can I just quickly add, sorry to say, that the whole tier system is a bit of a smokescreen. Because again, I know you don't want it to get too political.
No, explain.
We have to face the facts that the Conservative Party, and I'm not one way or the other in terms of politics, in British politics, the Conservative Party have received multi-millions of pounds from Russians. So this is all about a way of covering up. We took X amount from this person. That's exactly section. Yeah,
that's exactly what I was saying. You can't pin it on a country or a individual, because we are living in a multinational world here. Okay, there is corporations that are currently working in the United States, and they are fully American. However, they are working for Russia or working for China. It's hard to identify, and that is why
in prison they have a hierarchy of prisoners, don't they? If you did certain crimes in prison, they have a certain hierarchy of criminals. If you did a certain
punishment.
What I mean is, even within the population of a prison, if you did a certain crime, you're scum. Even though you're all criminals. Do you get my point? It's that sort of approach to things. If you did things with women and children, you're the bottom of the low. If you did, okay.
I understand. Yeah. Okay, I get what you mean. All right, let me bring in Bobby. Bobby, welcome to the stream. I know this is a sensitive topic. However, we need to shed light on it, because a lot of the fans are confused right now at what is going on and why are we in this situation. So I wanted to discuss it, to shed some light on it. Let me hear your thoughts on it, Bobby. Welcome.
Hi guys.
Hi, Bobby.
Wow. I have a heavy heart as I address this topic. Because some of the things that people who don't really know the details, the ins and outs as to why and what is going on, the depth, the history, it saddens me even more. Let me try and put it this way. What is the point of, because you can't beat a bully, going to beat up the boy he spoke to that lives on his street? You know, we've got to get away from lynch mob mentality. I feel as sad to see a war. I don't even know if it's even a war. I don't know what's going on. Any kind of incursion where innocent people die into a country, as I do hearing things like destroy the Russians. What are we saying here? Why must we then, because we can't get to the problem, start targeting innocent people out of spite? You know, I'm just appalled. I really am. I really am. The whole notion that, hurting this person, get him, get them. Well, it's not going to stop what's going on. The main person doing this doesn't even care about all these things you want to do to people outside of his country, whether they're from his country or not. That's not his objective, and that's not why he's doing it. So unless other, more effective solutions can be brought about, and I think trying to get them to a table to discuss honestly what the issues are and to reach an agreement rather than say things to provoke an already slightly unstable character is what saddens me. It really saddens me. As if this world needs another conflict. I know there are certain people that love it and want it and are pushing this, but it's not the vast majority of us. I've got not, funnily enough, before coming on this program, I watched a YouTube video about a place in America where there were tensions anyway. You had black people living on one side of the town, white people living on the other. And they were both prosperous to a point. And then some rumor came about that some black kid did something to a white girl. And there was slaughter. The people from the white side that were armed and ready, they came and they basically just murdered hundreds of people on the other side of town simply for the color of their skin. In the end, it was found out that the actual person that harmed the white girl was some white man living on that side of the town. America's full of stories like that. Lynch mob mentality is dangerous. It's not helpful. In an already tragic situation, what are we doing? Looking to pour more misery and tragedy on people. And the funny thing about these things is that the more you do these things, the more they end up hurting us. I went to buy petrol the other day. It's already gone up. It happens. I mean, the other day, just this morning, it's already gone up. It always happens when there are conflicts like this. And if there are more issues in and around it, goodness knows what will happen next. I think we should be looking for ways to bring about peace, not ways to escalate the situation, antagonize people, make people become partisan, and start taking sides over something they don't really know much about. Destroy the Russians. I don't hate no Russians. I don't know those people. Why would I hate them? Why would I want to destroy them? Because their leader has decided to go into conflict with his neighboring nation. I'd rather sit back, ask them, listen, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Can't we find a way to at least appease the situation. He's gone in there for a reason. What is the reason? Is it really that unreasonable for us to find a path of peace? You'll find out, I can't think of a single war that has been fought on this planet that could not have been avoided. Not one, not even the Second World War. It's just saddens me, really.
Yeah.
And now everybody's talking about Abramovich as if he's the person that caused this.
Yeah, Bobby. In regards to that situation has been volatile since 2014.
Even before then.
Well, we could go back to the Second World War if we want to go into the details of it. We could go back to the Second World War.
Yeah.
Maybe even the First World War there was issues there, but that situation has been volatile. And to be honest, no side is blameless in this situation. Both sides have contributed to us getting to where we are today, because, like you said, if they wanted and dealt with this in a peaceful manner, but there's egos involved here. There is money involved here. There is power. There is logistics. There is pipelines. There is land. There's a lot involved here. But the one thing, the most important thing that is overlooked here is the cost to human life.
And the common people that they don't have a say in the game. And
look, today, sorry, Bobby. Today, we have people in Ukraine hiding in subways and in makeshift bomb shelters, and we have people in Moscow on the street demanding for a stop to this war. This is the people. This is the human beings that are involved right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So, look, regardless of where people sit, on what side of the fence they sit, human life. There's a kid out there crying right now because he doesn't know where his father is. He doesn't know if he's going to wake up tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
This is where we are. This is where we are now.
Mo, can I just say this? Why do we need to always allow these effing politicians to make us get all stirred up about something most of us don't know anything about? This is how these things escalate. I am for give peace a chance. I am for a solution. Why must everything be, oh, you antagonize me, now I've got to antagonize you. Oh, I've got these many bombs. Oh, I've got these many missiles. What is all this? Who suffers? The people calling the shots aren't going to suffer. It's the common man, woman, and child on the street. That's what really makes my heart heavy, because none of this is necessary. And I wish people would refrain from getting involved and attacking whatever side, especially if it's not your fight. Start pushing for peace rather than escalation of an already escalated situation. That's all.
Cheers, Bobby. Let me bring in Josh B, and I'll bring in J25. Josh B, welcome to the stream. What do you have to say, mate?
I just want to say that this is very sad, even though I don't really know that much. But I've seen on the news that people are getting killed left, right, and center. I even got a Twitter notification saying the Russians said, "Go F yourself" before they killed them. And
listen. This is something that you're gonna see. What's the word here? You're gonna see a lot of propaganda. You're gonna see a lot of people pushing one way or the other. You're gonna see a lot of people trying to stir. Bobby was just saying about stirring it up in a way where it's gonna get people to hate people. Look, all I care about is this.
Yeah.
Sorry, Boogeyman. All I care about is this. Today, what is going on in Ukraine is a problem. It's a problem. Now, in respect to us as Chelsea fans, in respect to our club, in respect to the person who is involved with us, and that is Roman Abramovich, the owner of our club, and his future. I'm just going to put you guys on mute for a second. And in regards to his future at Chelsea Football Club, that is really what I want to address today. And I want to address it because I think too much propaganda, too much talk, too much hype is going around to fill up newspaper columns, to fill up articles. Roman Abramovich is not allowed to live in the UK. Again, ever. Well, he hasn't been allowed to live in the UK for quite some time. Nothing has changed. We need to address his visa situation. We can't give him a tier 1 visa anymore. Well, right now he still has a tier 1 visa. And if you want to take action, go ahead, take action. But nothing has been taken right now. People are talking about Roman Abramovich and I deliberately titled this stream in this way because I knew it would get people to click on it and to follow the hype. Nothing is happening, people. As we speak right now, no decision has happened in regards to Roman Abramovich. There are members of parliament trying to get a decision to be taken against him. There are people trying to focus the light, to scapegoat him in particular because he is the most known out of the Russian oligarchs currently operating in the UK. The spotlight is on him. His name is the one that's being mentioned. But nothing has happened. Nothing has happened in respect to that. We all know he's got a mad mansion in High Street, Kensington.
But should we be worried then?
Let me finish. We need to address what could happen. What could happen? And if it does happen, what is the likely outcome? Let's debate it. Let's discuss it. But let's not jump the gun and say it's already happening. Reading some of the articles today, American businessmen are already, looking at the club and looking at the stands and looking. They're about to sign the paperwork. Nothing has happened. Roman Abramovich has already sold the club as far as some, journalists are concerned. Nothing has happened. And I said, this is all, and again, I'm talking here as a Chelsea fan, this is all to affect our mindset, our focus, because we've got a cup final in a couple of days against J25's team, who I'm going to give a minute to talk about his thoughts and opinions. Liverpool. That is all that is happening. That is all that is happening. The world is going upside down in Ukraine. Everything is upside down in Ukraine. I understand that. It's madness. And my heart goes out to them. But I'm talking on a Chelsea fan channel. I'm talking on a football channel today. And I'm addressing the stories that are circulating around the owner of my club. That's it. I'll repeat myself. I pray for everyone in Ukraine. I pray for everyone in Russia. I pray for everyone who is going to be affected by this. We are going to be affected by this. Bobby was just talking about the fuel prices. But this stream, you guys, I want you to address it from a footballing standpoint. And Gabriel, fantastic question. Could it happen? Will it happen? Might it happen? Let's address that. Boogeyman, I'll come back to you, but let me just give J25 a minute to say hello to him, and then I'll come back to you. J25, welcome to the stream. How are you?
Yeah, fine. I was just going to say about this Ukraine situation right now. For me, it is different. I just don't think Abramovich is involved in Putin's point of view based on his war. For me, this whole thing that Abramovich, the UK people, UK government is going to freeze his assets. I just think it's a mindset game. I think they're trying to warn him or at least threaten him, in my opinion. Maybe because the UK government are warning and condemning on the Russian government. So since Abramovich is a friend of Putin, so I just think that he's trying to the MP who told him in the parliament was trying to threaten or warn him. But I just don't think they're gonna freeze their assets and all. It's just a threat, in my opinion. But other than that, I just hope and pray for all the Ukrainian people who are suffering in that situation. And man, it is the world. The world has gone crazy right now. I mean, Putin declaring war was not. It's just for him to ascertain his power, but it doesn't involve in Abramovich. It doesn't make a connection with Abramovich, in my opinion.
J25, thank you for your point of view. J25 is a Liverpool fan, lads. He's a Liverpool fan. All right, so big up to you and thank you for your insight. Look, there will be people targeting people. There will be organizations targeting other organizations, and on the surface it looks genuine. It looks like it's humanitarian. When you dig behind it, you'll find there's other agendas behind it.
But I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm a Liverpool fan. I just think it's just a target. People.
No. I'm not addressing you and your comment. I'm addressing the fact that there are people. The member of Parliament, Brian, I think his name is, and his agenda against Abramovich. I have no issue if you want to take a step to impose a higher tier of sanctions, do it. But when you're targeting an individual, now I know he's talking about something that happened in 2019, I believe, when there was a certain document that was leaked, and he's trying to link it to that. You've waited 3 years to talk about it. Why? See, that's what I'm saying to you. There is agendas behind certain things, and we need to know why the people are bringing these things up today. When it's such an important thing, why did you wait 3 years to talk about it? Let me go to Boogeyman. Boogeyman, big up to you.
Yeah, listen, I just want to address something. Nobody is calling for any sort of violence against any Russian. We know now. The thing is, the common way the entire world is trying to actually combat Russian is just by crippling the economy. That's what everybody seems to agree on. Nobody's calling for to use violence against anybody, and the only country that is suffering right now from in the hand of Russia is the Ukraine. And as today, the only way for us to help Ukraine is to make sure the Russian economy is completely destroyed. And I mentioned the word that I use. And if it meant to seize pretty much all Russians, multi-millionaire asset, that should be the case. I'm just a fan, but if that's what it takes to seize it and to help Ukrainians, I don't see any problem, and that's what I keep saying. I don't see any problem.
So Mo, can I just say, right? So when I was going to jump in before, I missed out my point, right? So people, the media, right? This goes back to the media, because this is the media's problem here, right? Because Roman Abramovich has nothing to do with this, as I said at the start, to do with Putin invading Ukraine, right? It's just because he's good mates or connections. People seem to think that he's a fall guy. There's nothing to do with that. Look, people are quick to point to the negatives here, right? Did people forget that during the pandemic, when the Conservatives are quick to jump at point negatives about Roman Abramovich funded the NHS staff and housed them in a hotel and helped the NHS staff. So for me, it's a bit hypocritical when I read some of the comments that came in here that said, get the dirty oil money out of the club. But yeah, we were quick to shout champions of Europe when Chelsea won the Champions League. So there's double standards now. This is what I'm seeing now with the news reports. There's people that are coming out saying Roman's this, Roman's that. But yeah, 2 weeks ago, they were supporting them when we won the Club World Cup. You can't have double standards. You've got to stick to one point. This is what I'm saying. The media are portraying Abramovich as the bad guy, and he's not. He's not the bad guy. It's Putin, and that's what the media need to focus on. Is that guy there? It's really frustrating to hear Roman Abramovich's name get dragged through the mud. So it's really, really sad, to be honest. Abramovich has nothing to do with it. We've got nothing to do with it, but it's our club that's getting dragged through the mud, and our owner. It's really, really sad.
Chris is so right. He's so right. Sadly, just as Mo said, people will use this to execute their agendas. They don't give us stuff about the people of Ukraine. It's all about their malice. If you really want something to be done in this situation, you will ask some real questions. Why is it this guy? Okay, forgetting that it's all a game of aggression and power play, and why is it that he went this far? Why is it? Why couldn't he listen to conversations allegedly that were offered to him? Let's hear the truth. The fact is that it's so sad that nowadays you can't even get the truth anymore from the media. I don't listen to them because all of them come with their own spin, their own propaganda, and the people in the middle are the ordinary people like you and me who have absolutely nothing to do with any of this.
100%.
And that is the real sad thing. And just as Mo said earlier, there are children dying and people getting hurt in Ukraine because of two stubborn, well, they're not the only stubborn people in this game, that's for sure. It really is very sad. It's very sad. And dragging Roman Abramovich into it is just an excuse, a smokescreen, and a nonsense. That's not the real issue.
Bobby,
listen.
Can I ask Bobby a quick simple question?
I'll let you ask just one thing. Just one thing. I want to comment on what Chris said and what Bobby said. Look, is Roman Abramovich a saint? No.
No.
You don't know.
Tell me. No. I know he's not a saint. Do you know why? Because saints don't exist anymore. Saints don't exist anymore.
Yeah, but
everyone,
maybe he is.
Everyone. Listen, everyone has faults. Everyone has faults. No one is perfect. A saint is someone who's perfect. A saint is someone who cannot make mistakes. All right, and Roman Abramovich is not a saint. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone does things that are right and does things that are wrong, depending on your mood, depending on your decision making. You may have good intentions, but the decision you make might turn out to be bad. Doesn't mean you are a bad person. It just means you made a bad decision, and that is fine. Human beings make bad decisions. Now, I know that Roman Abramovich has made bad decisions in certain areas and certain things. Okay, I don't judge him on that. That is not for me right now. I judge him on what he has done in regards to the entity that me and him are joint at. Where do I meet with Roman Abramovich? At my club. Roman Abramovich owns the club that I support. Therefore, that is what I have in common with him, and that is what I base my judgment when it comes to him. Now, does he have issues and mistakes elsewhere? Possibly. Am I the right person to address those? No, because I am not insight. I don't have the insight, the information in respect to that. But what I do know is this. When clubs, big clubs, so-called massive clubs, laid people off so they can fund the contracts of certain players, Roman Abramovich didn't do that. When massive clubs put people on furlough, when they can afford to pay hundreds of thousands of pounds a week to certain players, but they put their staff on furlough because they can't afford to pay them, Roman Abramovich started hiring people. When we had issues with hospital staff, they were working 24/7 and they couldn't go home and come back because of the shift patterns. Here's my hotel. Go sleep in there. Not only go sleep in there, but my staff will look after you in that hotel free of charge. My staff will look after you in that hotel free of charge. He didn't have to do that. So what I'm saying is, Roman Abramovich is not a saint. He's made mistakes. But as far as what he has done when it comes to my club, he's done some good things. He's done some great things. Chelsea Football Club are now building grassroots football. Our academy is one of the best in the world. The players that come through our academy are world-class players. Was that the case before Roman Abramovich? No, that wasn't the case. Is it the case today? Yes. Is Chelsea the most successful club in the past 20 years? In England, in the United Kingdom? Roman Abramovich. So as a Chelsea fan, I have to say this guy has done great things for my club. Do I want to see him lose the club? Of course I don't. Of course I don't. Do I want to see some businessmen who don't care about the football come and own my club? No, I don't. No, I don't. This is my concern today. My concern is we could be seeing that happen because of what is going on. That's my concern. Okay. However, we also need to show a certain amount of solidarity and unity within the fan base. Because I'm seeing people attacking the man. You want to attack him for political things that you're fully informed about? Go right ahead. Okay? But it's funny how these politically things that you're informed about started to become apparent today. Just like we saw in Parliament the other night. A 2019 issue was being used as a tool to take his home, to take his house. So let's just be a little bit more wise when we address these things. Now, am I defending the man? I'm defending my club. I'm defending Chelsea Football Club. I'm not defending Roman Abramovich. I'm defending my club. I'm defending the actions that the owner of my club has done in respect to my club. I couldn't care less what his name was. The fact that he's Roman Abramovich, I respect his actions. I respect his actions towards my club. Now, has he done mistakes? Are there things that could come to the surface in a couple of days which may turn or which may make me look at him in a different light? But until those things happen, let's not jump the gun. Let's not jump the gun. And I'm sorry for keeping you waiting, Boogeyman, but I just had to get it off my chest.
Listen, I needed to talk anyway. That's why this type of discussion is good for my brain anyways. What to say, there's no tie, there's at least that's my opinion, to that our owner has anything to do with what's going on or the Ukrainian misery. There's no connection so far. The only crime he's committed is being Russian, which is stupid to say one way or the other. The question, and I don't think he should be punished in one way. Like if I was to talk only about Chelsea, as like the way you turn the entire subject, you just want to see the impact in Chelsea and how this whole thing should be handled. I don't think he deserves to lose 1 cent of his wealth or whatever you want to call it. I don't think so. But coming back to Bobby, what Bobby said, why people don't try to understand why this guy is doing what he is doing instead of trying to escalate everything. My question is there, I don't want, Bobby, please, I don't want to drag the thing out of Chelsea component or just take a complete politics or anything. If you have a quick answer, give it to me. If not, that's fine. My point is it still that important right now to ask why he is going there when the atrocity is always being committed right now? It's already going in. Is there a way to ask a devil, why are you doing this? You can only fight it. I understand. Go ahead.
I didn't want to get too much into this, but from my understanding and from what I've read and some of the history I know, he has also given his conditions to stop what he's doing. It's very clear. And he wouldn't have done what he was doing if he had some assurances, which he wasn't given. Now, I'm not justifying anything that he's done. I don't support it. I am 150% against any kind of armed anything. I think it's barbaric.
Just for a second. Boogeyman, are you asking in regards what is Putin doing, what he's doing? Is that what you're asking?
No. He's asking that he thinks it's too late to ask the question. And I think that asking the question is where we will get the solution. Because if you understand why something has happened and accept what this person is saying, then you have a negotiation tool rather than negate it and think that it's been done for no reason. Another thing I want to say is when the United States and the rest of us walked into, was it Iraq or so, when we were told there were weapons of mass destruction. If Iraq had the capability, would you have said it was right for them to sanction the Glazers? I mean, let's just get some perspective here. Abramovich has nothing to do with this, and I don't think he should be dragged into it unless, as Mo says, something comes out of the blue that shows he has something to do with it, which quite frankly is very unlikely. And I'll be suspicious of it if we get to hear it at this point in time. I think we need perspective. A horrible thing has taken place in the world yesterday, but there are solutions. Every act of aggression of this nature, there are two sides to every story, and the solution is to listen to both sides and come to a peaceful agreement, not to start hurting other people that have nothing to do with it. I'm not for that at all.
Yeah, I understand. I see Eric Blue was saying apparently they were trying to negotiate. Yeah, that's where I was going actually. The negotiation was never taken off the table, but the man decided, listen, I'm just going to go do what I want to do, and anybody trying to put themselves between me and what I want.
Boogie. Let's. I'll indulge. I'll indulge for a couple of minutes. I'll indulge you for a couple of minutes. Do you know why the whole thing has happened? Do you know why it's happened?
Yeah, I have my thought on it.
Tell me.
And also, Kasim, I also have a thought.
My understanding, listening to the Russian minister of whatever he was talking at the UN today, he said there is a genocide going on in a certain part of Ukraine, and there's a Ukrainian of Russian origin that are being exterminated or whatever. Those are the reason, and at the same time, that's the reason he gave.
That is something that we can talk about that might be happening now, and it's used as the flag for them to enter into Ukraine.
No, but that isn't why. He gave today.
That's the reason why they entered into Ukraine, and that could be a false flag operation. That could be a false flag operation. That is something that you can instigate and do. However, the whole reason behind it is this: Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union. Ukraine was part of the Warsaw Pact.
I know
after.
And I think after the Soviet Union,
Jay, can I? Let me finish. NATO wants to expand into Ukraine. Russia does not want to have NATO expand into Ukraine. Okay, now apparently Ukraine said, "Okay, we will stop this process," but Russia is worried that might happen eventually. Therefore, they don't want it to happen. Therefore, they've moved in. In a nutshell, that is what has happened. In a nutshell. Now, there's false flag operations. There's that man did this, that other guy did that, and we could be here all night talking about the sequence of events that led to this point. However, the whole thing is, Russia is worried about the expansion of NATO, and that is why this has happened. Let me just give J25 a second because he's been trying to get in. Jay, what do you want to say?
Yeah, I was going to say the only reason why they were invading is one thing you said is about the NATO thing. Yes, you are right, because NATO is expanding a lot just to protect from Russia and its activities. But another reason is that Putin is trying to ascertain his own authority, like when he declared the war on yesterday. He didn't say about partially he wanted to declare the war, partially he wanted to take Ukraine. He wanted to take Ukraine fully, and that is the reason why Putin wants to threaten NATO and other Western allies, threaten Western allies and use and ascertain its power. So I just think that US and others are just backing it off, and they don't want it to intervene in Ukraine immediately. And when Putin said about the war, he said that if anyone intervenes, you're going to face the consequences you'll never see in history. So I just think he's ascertaining his own power and his own authority in Europe, in my opinion.
Can I just say, I got sent a clip. I got sent a clip in regards to this is totally separate to what you were talking about. But I just got sent a clip from one of my mates that said, "Have you seen at Lampard's press conference?" He sent me a clip, and one of the, I'm going to say it, idiot of a journalist said to Lampard, "What was your relationship like under Abramovich?" Right? Because obviously they're trying to get likes and whatever hits on whatever.
When is this press conference? When was this?
This was the one coming up. So the press conference against City. So this was today.
Oh yeah, pre-match.
Yeah. So he got asked what his relationship was, and Frank Lampard smartly said, "Look, it's got nothing to do with me. Go ask." It's a difficult question. Now, if journalists are going to do this and ask people that have worked under Abramovich, go and ask Carlo Ancelotti. Go and ask Jose Mourinho at Roma. Go and ask John Terry. Go and ask Michael Essien, right? Go ask everybody then, yeah? Because if this is what it's going to take for people to get a few likes and hits on social media, it's a joke. Stop asking stupid questions like that. Lampard is not a political leader. He's the manager of Everton. He's preparing against Manchester City. Go ask sensible questions instead of questions that don't make any bit of sense whatsoever. Because as I say, go ask Mourinho, etc. Makes no sense.
Excellent.
Look.
Can Bobby say what does it? The reason I gave Bobby say no, it's not. I think he interjected to say something when I said the Russian minister that UN said the genocide is happening in Crimea and certain part of Ukraine is the reason why they feel like they have to protect those people or those community. That's the reason why they invaded Ukraine. That's the reason was given today anyways at UN. So when I was saying that, Bobby said something.
I said, Mo actually answered it. There are lots of smoke screen versions as to why this happened. Mo actually said exactly why it happened. I didn't want to go further. I have an even further knowledge of why it happened. The solution to this is almost in a word. Just give assurances. Okay, that's your side of the fence. This is my side of the fence. I'm not going to sit on the fence and make you feel nervous. End of story. End of story. But nobody wants to do that. Why? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But all I know is that the cost of not doing that with a guy like Putin is exactly what we're seeing today. It's unfortunate. But for the purpose of this stream, what has that got to do with Abramovich? Absolutely nothing. It has about as much to do with Abramovich as the Glazers had to do with the invasion of Iraq.
Yeah, for example, the case of Iraq, if Iraq decided to go after all U.S. interests in Iraq, I wouldn't say anything wrong with it. I say, yeah, that's what we should do. Because if that's the only way for you.
Boogeyman. The point that Bobby is making is this. And I think, Bobby, you've actually made you've chosen a bad example, because they had a good relationship with George Bush at the time. So him invading Iraq, the Glazers were backing him financially. So had Iraq had the ability to sanction the Glazers, they would have done it in a heartbeat. But I know what you're saying. Certain.
I didn't know.
I know. Yeah, but I'm from Iraq, so I know about these little things. Anyway, the point is this. Going after an individual because he is friends with Putin.
I don't see it as an individual.
He has no. Listen. Boogeyman. If you were to talk about the businessmen, the Russian businessmen, the oligarchs, if you were to talk about the oligarchs, we need to sanction them. We need to do this. I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Yeah, but that's what we're saying.
But that's not what they're saying. They're actually saying Abramovich.
Oh no, I know. You're talking about the
individual.
MPs. The MPs are mentioning, but me, my
papers,
logic.
The papers. Everyone
logic.
is talking. Yeah, Boogie. Sorry. This as a Chelsea fan, I'm talking here as a Chelsea fan. I'm not talking here as a person who's following the news and the politics and whatnot. No, I'm talking as a Chelsea fan. When you come and you say to me, all the strikers in the world today, they're shit. All right, I'll be like, all right, maybe. Then you come around and you say to me, nah, but it's Kai Havertz, man. He's shit. That's a different statement. If you're telling me, if you're talking about a particular individual, I'll have an issue with it. But if you're talking about
they're
general,
not mentioning Usmanov.
Bobby, there's a lot. I was checking. There's like six massive oligarchs just in London. Based in London. Forget about the whole of the UK. Just in London, there's 6 massive ones, and the poorest out of them is he's got like £3.5 billion worth of assets. The poorest one. All right. I mean, so there's a lot of Russian businessmen. Talk about them in general. As a blanket statement, I don't have an issue. And to be fair, I wouldn't have an issue if they were talking about Roman Abramovich, if they were highlighting and they were showing exactly what his link is to what's happening in Ukraine. And because of this, we're going to do this. All right, then at least I'll have something to ponder about. Yeah. But they don't have that.
No.
And like I said, if something was to come up, then we'll address it when it does.
I think added to what you're saying, to be honest, Chelsea is a club that's always under attack. We were even under attack before Abramovich. They used to attack us because of Ken Bates. So we're used to it. What does
Ken Bates do? What did he do?
Ken Bates, they just didn't like him. They just don't like Chelsea. They look at us as the swagger team of London, and they've been attacking us since the 1950s. But that's a different matter. What this is about is the cup final. Just as you've rightly said, some people have jumped on the bandwagon of this. They're pushing it hard to try and destabilize the team. I mean, look at that nonsense they came out with about Lukaku wanting to go back to Inter. When Lukaku himself and his people came out and said, look, this is nonsense. Stop trying to stir it. I'm trying to be focused on Chelsea and the cup final. What's his name? What's that manager's name? Crikey, my mind goes.
Thomas Tuchel.
Tuchel also said in his press conference that, look, it's a nonsense. We're just trying to focus as a team on the final. They're always doing this. If it's not Lukaku or now Abramovich, they'll look for something else. They'll turn around and say, oh, so-and-so has put some money and they want to take Thiago Silva. Anything to try and destabilize.
Can I say something quick? Listen, I don't. Do you guys think this whole Ukraine thing will have some impact in the moral of our players? And the second question is, don't we think it will be a good gesture for Chelsea actually to just say, listen, we're giving 100 million to help with the effort in Ukraine?
Why?
No, why? Why should we?
Why?
Lord, guys.
No, you're acting like what is your
I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something. I will tell you something. I will guarantee you, at some point in the very near future, you will find that Roman Abramovich will do something for the people of Ukraine.
Yeah.
He will do it. Not because he has to, not because people are putting pressure on him, no, because he wants to. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised when that happens.
Mo, isn't it funny? They're talking about his friendship with Putin, but nobody talks about his friendship with Andrei Shevchenko. Look, Abramovich is a businessman. Which businessman, as successful as he is, from any country, doesn't know the political ruling class? You know them because they're part of the whole ability to get big business. He knows people all over the world. Putin is not the only powerful man he knows or does business with.
Bobby, you're right. My point is, I have a Russian colleague. Today,
I just want to address Phantom of many topics. He sent in a super chat. Firstly, before I read the super chat, Phantom, I haven't seen you for a very long time, mate. I hope you're doing well. I hope you and your family are blessed and doing well. I'd love to have you on the show one time. So big up to you and thank you for your super chat. Phantom says, "Coward MPs lashing out at friend of a friend is bad. A previous friend of yours is now also just a previous friend of mine because he lied about me." I know what you're talking about. He lied about me as well, so it is what it is. It is what it is, Phantom. Yeah, I know who he's talking about, and I'll add something to that. Only yesterday, people were sending me screenshots and things of what he's been saying. So it is what it is. We'll leave it. We'll leave it as it is. Phantom, one second, Phantom. Love you, brother, and you're always welcome on the Blue Lounge. Go ahead, guys.
Bobby, can I just say that?
No, Chris, let me finish. I just want you to tell me why you and Bobby rejected my idea of Chelsea actually making a good gesture.
Okay. No, I never rejected it. I just asked why. Right, I will tell you why I think why. Right, because what's happened is Russia have invaded Ukraine. Right, that's sad, 100%. But why should we fork out 100 million to help them when we are
forget about the 100? And my point is, Chelsea is a Russian.
It's owned by Abramovich.
I'm not saying it's a Russian company. It's a Russian-owned company. So even me right now, if a country where I belong to is attacking, I will feel like I was going to say. My colleague today was really, really slow. He just keeps saying listen, I don't know what's happened. I don't like what's happening, and I'm so sorry. And all that. I say, why are you being sorry? Of course, he's just one human, and he's not feeling good about the whole situation. And so I'm just saying, if you think that way, it's only
no. But what I'm saying is, Abramovich has got nothing to do. You know the person who should be paying for
Ukraine. You feel sorry for the people that are getting at.
The person who should be paying for Ukraine is Vladimir Putin. That's the person who should be paying for Ukraine.
No, he's crazy. We already see that. We established that.
Look, as Mo said, in years' time, Abramovich will fork out money to help it because that's the guy he is. But I don't see why we should be straight away, because Roman Abramovich is Russian, because he's got connections to Putin, and because he's had a past with Putin, whatever, he's mates with Putin, that we should pay 100 million. I don't understand.
About just being a Russian? He's just a Russian.
I think. Well, that's almost discriminatory. You know.
No, I didn't mean it that way. No, Bobby, I didn't mean it that way at all. Like I say, even me, if I'm from a country, my country is attacking another country. Even if I have nothing to do with the operation, whatever happened, I feel so bad that I will try to.
I'm sure he feels bad. Everybody feels bad.
That's all I'm saying.
Everybody feels, but you see, there's a bigger picture. You're showing a lot of naivety to the knowledge of what big playing international politics is all about. You know, there's the Chinese part of this that nobody's really talking about. and I'm certainly not prepared to start going into. This is bigger than what we're hearing. And, for Roman to suddenly decide to take responsibility for something he has absolutely nothing to do with.
I get it.
Mo, can I say, right? Mo, can
He's
I say,
dragging the attention on himself for nothing.
let's just say, right?
That's what you meant.
I've got a friend. Let's just make up a name. Susan Boyle, right? I know she's not right. Let's just say my friend is Susan Boyle, right? And she's decided to rob a bank, right? But I've got a good connection with Susan Boyle. I've been seeing pictures with Susan Boyle. She robs a bank, and she's whatever. Yeah. Does that mean that I'm to blame for what Susan Boyle's done? No.
I'll give you a better example. I have a friend who's called Chris. Chris went somewhere and started to cause some trouble, and then it's me who's pushed him to cause the trouble.
Oh, I know what you mean, mate. I know what you're saying. I know.
And so these things happen, man. People will see things the way they want to see things. It's fine, as far as I'm concerned, Roman Abramovich. Okay, and Boogie, when I said to you he's not a saint, okay, how shall I put this? As far as I'm concerned, and as far as a lot of people who are from my background are concerned, Roman Abramovich has been involved in some madness, because of his other nationality, not the Russian one, a different one. Okay, because of that nationality, he has, or his companies have, done things that will, for me, be problematic. But again, I am not addressing that side of things because that's politics. Now, if I was to have a debate about that, I will highlight Roman Abramovich's shortcomings and his mistakes in those situations. But right now, we are talking about him, the owner of Chelsea Football Club. Him, the owner of Chelsea Football Club, and what he has done for the club. How he has managed the club. I have no problem. In fact, it's not that I don't have any problems. I am more than satisfied. I am very happy to have him as the owner of my club because of the way he is handling my club. Now, are there things that are going to have that are going to put a shadow or that are going to dampen some of the limelight that he gets for that? For me, there is. For others, there is. But it doesn't mean that I will use that as a tool or as a weapon to attack him with when it comes to him being the owner of Chelsea Football Club. If I want to address those things, I'll address those things directly. I have a problem with him doing X or Y thing. I will address the X and the Y directly. I would not go and attack Chelsea Football Club because he happens to be the owner of that when I have a problem with him doing that. Do you understand?
I understand. Do we think that he should come out and denounce what's happening in Russia?
No, Boogeyman. Let me. It's like saying to me, I have to go out and talk about every time a Muslim does something wrong. I have to condemn it. Why do I have to condemn it?
You have to at the end of the day.
No, why do I have to? What's supposed to do with me?
Listen. I'm not, the way you put it is like, listen, if you were some sort of leader, if you have some sort of, how do you say this? Some sort of
but he's not a leader though. He's not a leader though.
One of the biggest, powerful Russian.
No, he's a businessman.
Yeah,
does he have?
What does that mean?
Does he have a party? Does he have a political party?
I'm not sure. I'm not
no,
sure
he doesn't.
about those details.
He doesn't. Maybe he finances. And
probably,
to be fair, one of the issues that took place, or that a document was leaked about in 2019, was that he paid for favors from certain government officials, which he admitted to in court. Okay, now that will suggest that he has dealings with government, but he isn't government. He isn't politics.
That will suggest that he was looking for contracts. That's all. That
Yeah, a business
any other
tender.
businessman in the world.
Yeah, a business tender.
Okay, Bobby, why do you think he should not come out? And I understand what Mo say, like something terrorist attack happened, and then Mo has to go out and say something. Why? Why do you think he should not?
Gabriel.
What's wrong,
Oh,
Gabriel. It's got
Gabriel.
nothing to do with him.
Okay.
Okay, are the Glaziers coming out to apologize to most people for the attack on Iraq? Sometimes where does it end? It's got nothing to do with him. This is a Putin thing, and he has used his powers to exercise an ambition and a position that is purely political on both sides. Don't target individuals that have nothing to do with it because they're easy targets. You can't solve the problem, so let's go beat up everybody in and around the problem. The bully down the road, I can't get him, so I'll beat up all his neighbors. It's ridiculous. I really think it's just fostering unnecessary dislike, hatred, and escalating an already escalated situation. And mind you, this is a man that is already been sanctioned. He's already living under a sanction. Where does it end? What, you're going to blame him for every single situation that the Russians have been involved with because he's Russian? Are you going to blame everybody for all the misdeeds in history? You live in Canada. Are you guys going to apologize to the first generation Canadians for what happened to them?
Look at me. They should apologize to me, man.
Oh, there you go. Oh, there you go.
Bobby, are you going to apologize to Chris?
Well, you see, where does it end?
Freedom, freedom.
Chris, I love Chris.
Yeah, Chris, you should claim your apology, man. Now, live on TV, live on stream.
Hey, listen. Talking about dislikes. Yeah, I haven't actually asked for a like all stream. We're on 1 hour 40 minutes nearly, and we've got 77 likes, and I haven't even asked for a single one. So big up to everyone who has liked the stream.
Blue Lounge, actually, I'll do a shout out to Blue Lounge. Look, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to here, this is the Blue Lounge. This is a channel that I've always said is the best fan channel on YouTube. So click that like button, click the subscribe button, because this is a channel, unlike other channels, that represents everybody and accepts everybody. So big up everybody. Yeah, big up the Blue Lounge.
Cheers, Chris. Cheers.
Yeah, what is happening in Ukraine is really, really sad.
It's madness.
It turned me over and over. My brain is just not in the right place right now. But listen, Chelsea, when it comes to here to take this, okay. So when it comes to Chelsea, do you think we should be ready? Do you think they're properly isolated from all those news so they can be in a proper mentally a good situation to face Liverpool, because Liverpool are not going to make it easy for us. That's for sure.
I think Tuchel is that good a manager. You obviously say, look, the situation isn't good, but we've got a cup final on Sunday. Let's focus on that, because if we're not focused on that, there's no use in turning up to Wembley. So I think they will be focused on Sunday.
Exactly. I think so too. It's got nothing to do with them. They're just footballers playing for a club. Got nothing to do with the club in any way, shape, or form. My concern is, I just hope on Sunday, the officials are not going to have this as an umbrella to start doing down Chelsea, because they do us down for nothing, not to mention if they can now find this and use it as an excuse. Because if people think, if Chelsea fans, or one of them, who I know is a strong Chelsea fan, considers that this man should apologize, goodness knows what the opposition fans will be thinking.
I really hold on. I want to hear.
I was ready to listen, Bobby.
I want to hear from J25, because J25 is from Liverpool, or he's a Liverpool fan. So J25, look, mate. Carabao Cup final on Sunday. You guys are facing the undisputed world and European champions. So how do you feel? How do you feel, man?
Greece?
Yeah, it's kind of a tough match. For me, you guys are you guys have done very well so far based on form, and I think it's going to be a tight game for me.
You
I
sound
think we'll
worried,
go
mate. You sound worried. I
penalties.
don't know.
Sorry. Anyways, I just think that it'll go by penalties, in my opinion. It's tight, man. For me, it's very very tight. I'll be a bit nervous, in my opinion.
Oh, nervous. Oh.
Look, tomorrow we're going to have the match preview, and we're going to be talking about the goalkeeper. So that will be something that's very interesting to address tomorrow because of what Tuchel said in the press conference today. But we'll be talking about that tomorrow. Raymond has just jumped on. Raymond, welcome to the stream. Tell us where you're from, and let me hear what you have to say, mate. Raymond, can you hear us? You're on mute. Raymond? Hello? I think we might be having an issue with Raymond's
Someone
mic.
explain me what is Greece is. Maybe is a slang in Germany.
It means like you're chatting rubbish, mate. That's what he's trying to say. But yeah,
What is it? Breeze?
Yeah.
People
Someone
have
said-
no respect.
Does-
People have no
does someone-
respect for me.
does-
man. But that's fine.
Someone said Boogeyman's chatting Breeze? No, he says Grease. He just said
That's not
Breeze.
what's the Greece?
Grease.
well,
Boogeyman's
Greece is like
Chinese.
it's like slang for like you're chatting.
But
SHIT.
I still love you, man.
Yeah,
I
but
still love you.
we say Breeze in London. We don't say Grease.
See,
I'm-
he doesn't
I've
even know
not
what he's
come across.
talking about.
I've not come across the word Grease before.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
a film, innit?
but-
That's a film.
Yeah.
You know Kepa's going to start on Sunday, don't you?
You know what, Bobby? I'm not so sure
What's that?
Kepa.
because he said we're not going to be sentimental. I've got
No,
someone
yeah, he
jumping
said
on.
that. He said that,
CFC
and I
Blues.
love when I heard that. That just means Kepa is not sitting there.
No, Kepa's starting on Sunday.
You think so?
He's not
does
going
anyone know the ref
to
for Sunday?
give that out now, because if he does, Liverpool will start their long range shooting practice.
from Anfield, they will start shooting from
They'll
Anfield.
start shooting from Anfield.
I just hope.
Let's start shooting from the
Anthony
boss, man.
I just hope Anthony Taylor's not the ref. Honestly, Anthony Taylor, please. Don't.
Who's
his name?
hold on. Who's actually going? Who's actually going to the match? Chris, are you going?
I've got a ticket. However, I'm trying to get 2 other tickets now. I said to you, Mo, that I was trying to speak, but this woman is weird. She was from California, but this is where it started ringing alarm bells. So she was from California, but she's selling Chelsea Liverpool tickets. That's when I'm like, okay, if you're going to scam, at least make it not obvious, So. By the way, just want to say, don't scam at all. If anyone's listening, don't scam.
We don't condone that kind of stuff. Yeah, no, because the thing is, I know CFC Steven is going, Worldwide Chelsea, Sadiq is going, who else is going? Father's going, for tour.
Isn't that guy from Australia or New Zealand?
No, Worldwide Chelsea he's here from London, and actually, I'm gonna make an announcement.
Worldwide Chelsea is Sadiq.
Sadiq, yeah. Sadiq
Oh,
will
he's not
be.
in Australia or New Zealand.
Nah, he's here in London, man. He's from South London. Sadiq will be on the Blue Lounge next Friday. Literally in 1 week's time, Sadiq will be appearing on the Blue Lounge for a Q&A session.
That's beautiful.
Looking forward to it. I mean, me and Sadiq, we go back long way. I mean, I was chatting to him when I had 250 subscribers, from back in those days. So looking forward to having him on my channel.
That's back then when 100 of those 250 is yourself creating.
Hey, listen! Don't be telling people these things, man. It's between me and you. No.
That's the preview before the Newcastle, because I'll be at the bridge for the Newcastle game.
Hold on. What time is? When is the Newcastle game? Is it on? It's on
It's the
Saturday.
3rd, isn't it? Can't remember now.
No, one
I'll be at the
second. I need to check this out because.
So, if you see some guy come tap you on the shoulder and say, "Hey, I'm Bobby,"
Wait, hold on.
That's
Golf.
three.
Golf has said in the comments he has a spare, but my name's not Nick. My name's Chris Golf, not Nick.
Newcastle is on the 13th.
Oh, is that when it is? Yeah, I know I'm at the bridge that day. But
13th
don't film me when you see me.
Sunday.
I'll see you.
Hey, listen.
Take your phone.
All right. You're gonna be working there, yeah?
Yeah, I'm working that day, yeah.
Sweet.
I'll
I need
come
to get a
say,
ticket.
if I see you, I'll come say hello.
I'll try to get a ticket first, and then I'll tell you where I'll be sitting.
Bobby, I'll give you a can of Iron Brew, mate. Give you a can of Iron Brew, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I might be doing a fan cam session outside Wembley Stadium on Sunday.
Nice.
So if I do that, Chris, I might give you a DM.
Okay, mate, no problem.
Because Stephen, I might get you and Stephen to help me out with some of the interviews. I got to see what my schedule's like, because I need to get back.
Can I do an audition? Just a quick minute audition. Okay, here we go. Right, hold on. 3, 2, 1. Get a drum roll. Get a drum roll. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Blue Lounge TV. We're outside Wembley. Liverpool have just been beaten 10-0 by Chelsea. Gerrard never slept. But today we're going to be chatting to some Chelsea fans, so let's get into the interviews. Hey!
Hi, how are you? How you doing? No, listen. Listen, if you guys are going to be out there, look out for me, because I might be doing a fan cam. I might be doing a fan cam.
Yeah, you have time to set it up properly, right? You just have to.
I'll be doing it with my phone.
Yeah, someone has to hold the phone, right?
Govey said he's got a ticket. He said he has a spare. He's in the comments.
You've got a spare ticket, Gov?
No,
Seriously. He called me Nick.
Why is he calling you Nick?
No, he said sorry for calling you Nick. Yeah, man. If you have a spare, I think Mo will be interested.
Yeah, go on, Gov. Mo will be a taker. Go on, mate.
Why I called you Nick?
Yeah, guys.
Gov, if you got a ticket, just DM me, and we'll chat. I'm looking for a ticket. So if you got one, DM me and we'll chat.
Can
All right, listen, guys.
Before
go on, Boogie.
Is 100% sure that Rudiger is staying? Because I've been on Twitter. It seems like as a pretty much the club is just willing to call it. Right. Don't we supposed to talk about it?
I can tell you this. A source of mine has told me that an agreement has been reached and signature is pending. And the agreement is for 200. For 200K a week. It's been agreed, but pending signature, because they offered him 170. He demanded 225, I believe, and then they settled on 200. That's what I've been told. However, I need to know when it's getting confirmed, because at the moment it's on standby. So I'm not sure why it hasn't been announced yet. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be after the cup final. Maybe they want to time it to be after that. I don't know. We'll see. Mo, it's yours. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. DM me, Gov, and we'll talk. Gov. We'll talk after the.
So Christensen is still in the air.
Christensen will not be signing.
What the hell is this?
Yeah, from what I heard, Christensen may not be signing.
Okay, just
hey, listen. I have someone about to jump on. I haven't seen this guy for I say 4 months. 4 months. He came on one time, and I put him in my outro. If you look at my outro, he's in my outro, but he's never been back since then. So I'm really pleased to announce the return of Phantom of Many Topics. Phantom, welcome.
Can you hear me?
How are you?
Oh, you can hear me? Okay.
Loud and clear.
Let's say that someone who was a previous friend of yours, who was also a previous friend of mine, warded me off from you. And in a war, I have to pick sides, and at the time, I didn't know any better.
Listen, what water under the bridge, mate. Water under the bridge, mate. I never, and I promise you, I never had any ill feelings towards you whatsoever. Always, like the influence you had, like the energy you have.
Yeah.
So, sometimes we disagree. Sometimes we disagree, but that's fine.
Maybe
That's normal.
we'll say some of this in private chat, and I won't pollute your chat with much of this. But it takes an extraordinary person. I'm sorry. Is it bad audio?
You're good.
Yeah. You were breaking up a second ago. It might have been me.
Oh, okay. I'm good. Okay. It takes an extraordinary person to lie to your face. When you present them with the evidence, they say, no, your evidence is actually false. And I'm going like, my evidence is right here. And then they accuse you of doing the same crime that they did, and then said that you did the crime. And then finally, when all else is lost, said, it's just banter. Why can't you just take it? When I said, you owe me an apology. And he goes like, it's just banter. So that's it. I mean, it takes I have friends who are like this. Okay. They're what I call +4 -5s. Okay. So +4 -5, it's still a -1 in the end. They bring a whole
-1 at the end,
to the universe, but then the bad part, the Jekyll and Hyde part of it, is just like you just cannot tolerate that.
Just to get back to our players, is it Phantom that always say he doesn't like Werner or something? Is that one?
No, not Werner.
No. He's a big fan of Pulisic. Do you remember?
Yeah, but I think he said Werner was.
I'm the flip flopper. I'm the one who. I'm the one who's
last time. Boogeyman. I will tell you exactly when Phantom last appeared on the channel. It was literally the stream after Tammy Abraham signed for Roma, and he came on the stream wearing a Roma shirt. Do you remember that?
I still have it.
I remember. I think I was in a conversation with him, and
you were there.
And he's saying that the Werner contribution to the team is known to 0 or something, and then I'm like, no, Werner ran
higher than Lukaku. So between the two,
no. Back then, I thought it was more Werner for you because you keep saying he's here to score. Anyways, forget about it. Welcome back.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is, if Werner scores 3 in a row, I'm back on Werner's side. I'm just like that.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, we'll all be on his side. Yeah. Listen, Phantom brother, look, I'm going to say this in front of everyone, and then I'm also going to ask you to stay after the stream, and then we can have a talk. I just want to say this in front of everyone. Look, I have no ill feelings towards anybody. People make mistakes. People have arguments. End of the day, if you carry ill feelings inside of you, they will make you toxic. They will make you hateful. And I don't have that.
I'm doing what Germany has done to Adolf Hitler. They don't hate Adolf Hitler. They just forgot him. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I want to say this. I want to say this in regards to that individual that we are talking about. I have nothing but gratitude and love for him because he helped my channel out when I was starting.
Subscribers, and I go like, well, I gave you $350. Do the math. That's $7 of subscribers. We're even.
I'm talking about from my perspective. He helped my channel out, and he supported my channel. He didn't have to. He actually was the one that engaged with me. He had at the time, 45,000
that's your +4
subscribers, and he came. He had like 600 subscribers, and he helped me. So
that's where the +4 comes in.
That's what I'm saying. I will always acknowledge what he did, and thankful for what he did, and I wish him the best of luck with his channel, with his work. I have, like I said, I have nothing but love for him. He chose to go down that path, and I wish him all the best of luck. And I will do my thing. He will do his thing, and maybe our paths will cross one day. And when they do, I will smile and wish him the best of luck. So
there are some other people that I have issues with too. That like I won't say them if you want me to, but it's just instead of thinking of him as an enemy, I just forgot about him. Just like the way that Germany there's no statues to Adolf Hitler, there's no war memorial, nothing like that. The bunker is now just a playground. Nobody even remembers him. That's the way that. I'm just treating it as if this person didn't exist. The only reason why I haven't talked to anybody, I haven't said anything bad about him until today. And the only reason is that I just wanted to explain to you why I was gone after, you and I seemed to hit it off. And then all of a sudden I just disappeared because it was basically like, it's either him or me, and it's like, okay, well then, and besides, he actually, to be fair, he didn't say that. Okay, he never said that. I actually said that. It's either my friend this or it's my friend that, and so I chose sides, and I do apologize for choosing the wrong side.
No need to apologize, mate. No need to apologize. Like I said, I no ill feelings from my end. There's a question in the chat from the IT May. Where is MDT? MDT is at home. He's at home working on a few things. I haven't spoken to him for a little while, but last time I spoke to him, he told me that he was working on a couple of personal things, and he's focusing on work. Things have changed with lockdown being relaxed, and people are starting to go back to the office or work. So he's been involved with his family and with his work. So he's doing good. He's doing well. When I speak to him, I'll tell him that people in the chat are always asking about you, and they're always that they miss you, and he's probably watching this. So MDT, if you're listening, big up to you, and hopefully we'll speak to you again very soon.
Okay, so I'm gonna just get a drink of water real quick. Thanks.
All right. Cheers, Phantom. We gotta go. I will see you tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. for the Chelsea Liverpool match preview, Carabao Cup final. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be an interesting one. Hopefully, I'll have panel members on. My panelists, they done me dirty today, but hopefully tomorrow they'll be here. Different topic, more.
I'm the panelist, right?
You don't know. You said you weren't coming. You said you weren't coming.
That's true. But then I don't want to be in my own place and not just thinking about this whole thing and getting frustrated about it. I need to talk, right?
Yeah. Listen, Boogeyman, one thing that you all know, especially you, Bobby, and the OGs of my channel, I don't shy away from topics. I address them. I take them on. Because if we shy away, if we try to be politically correct and avoid talking about things that mean something to us, then what's the point? We addressed it, we debated it, we talked about it, and I got it off my chest. And by the way, when I actually posted the thumbnail, I got some disgusting DMs. People were dissing me. I mean, one guy did it in public. If you go and look at the Twitter, you'll see it in front of you. But I don't care. I will keep addressing these topics because they matter to me as a Chelsea fan, and that's the way I am.
And big up to Bobby, man. The thing is that the other thing is you have a good panelist. So like someone already said, this is one of the. I don't want to say the high IQ stream, but I'm just saying it's calmer. It's calmer here than adult stream. Let's just put it this way. So it's easier for you to discuss any topic. You know what I mean?
That's what we're here for, mate. That's what we're here for. We're here to discuss. We're here to debate. We're not here to fight.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
They tend to keep the intensity down a little, right? I mean, they're not easy people, but they try their best to keep the whole thing down. So credit to you for putting these people together. Credit to
you guys for being here. Listen,
I
guys.
just want to say, sorry, Gabriel, I cannot type into the chat while I'm in the StreamYard from this. I don't know why it is, because maybe I have StreamYard myself, but I'm not because if I do double chat, then you'll hear double volume from me, and there's a 3-second delay or whatever. So Gabriel, I'm not able to type back at you. That's all. Sorry.
All right, fantastic. Guys, thank you for being here. Much love, much respect. Again, I will say peace, prosperity, security, and safety to everyone in Ukraine, in Russia, and in that region, in Europe. I hope, God will have mercy and bless everyone over there. Take care, guys. Big up to you. I'll see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. for Chelsea Liverpool preview. Good night.